Howdy everyone. In the previous video we styled the job details component, but as you can see everything that is a rich text field is not properly displayed. Well, let's see why by seeing having a look at the payload that is coming from the database from Contentful here. Okay, so if we open this and we look at, let's say, the about you section, you see that it's a very complicated nested element. Same thing for the job description, same story. You see this content and then paragraph, another list, and so on. Same thing for job responsibilities, and same thing for remuneration package. Well, the reason is because in our content model, these are rich text field. Okay, and as rich text field, they require specific to be parsed and displayed in a very specific way. For example, you can see here that if I look at the about you section, okay, let's open that section, the about you. We begin with we have a lot of list items, right? So list items, this is the first one. Actually, I think the best way to look at this is to have a look at the job description section. I think it's going to be more explicit there. So let's look at the job description section. Okay, job description, where are you? All right, here it is. Right, so you see, for the job description, the first thing is a paragraph. Okay, the first thing is a paragraph, the second thing is a paragraph, the third thing is an unordered list, and the last thing is a paragraph again. So if we go here, does it match what is it what we expect? Exactly. So we have a paragraph, and then you have a list. Okay, and then the paragraph. I think the paragraph is just this empty area here, right? If I click here on save changes, I think nothing has changed actually. So yeah, we have the elements, a paragraph, and then an order list, and then a paragraph again. Well, what we want to do is to parse this appropriately, and the way to parse this in Contentful is we have two options. One option is to use JavaScript bindings, like a JavaScript module that Contentful provides. An npm package called RichText HTML renderer, and this will allow us to parse rich text fields and render them. Okay, the other one is to use the React. If your application is a React application, then you can use the other package, the Contentful rich text React renderer. Well, which option? I mean, it may seem at first glance that the second option is, I mean, both options will work, but in our case, we want to use the JavaScript package. And you may say, well, why do we want to use the JavaScript package? We are already using React in our project, right? So why shouldn't we just rely on the React one? Well, remember, one of our implementation guidelines is that we don't want at any time our component to be aware of the fact that we're using Contentful as a CMS, right? We want our components to be completely Contentful unaware. So by using a React package like this, we are going to be definitely telling our React components to that we are dependent on Contentful for fetching our data. So instead, what we want to do is use the JavaScript binding and perform this data cleaning in the job reducer. Remember that? So the job reducer in our data layer, we want to implement in such a way that when the jobs are coming out of this function, they are clean, the attributes are perfect, and there is no need for us to do anything in the component in order to parse them, right? And I think it's a better design. Like I keep saying, the moment if we ever decide to change the CMS, it's just going to be one file to change. Okay, and we won't have to go and look at everywhere in our project and see where we are relying on Contentful to make the necessary changes. So with that, set. Now let's install this package. Okay, let's install this, and like they say here, and we will implement a reducer to make sure that the rich text fields are properly passed by the data layer. Okay, so let's jump into this function. Okay, and we're gonna import it. So let's do that. Import. Is it here? No, let's do that in utils. Let's do that in utils. Okay, you see, we already have a couple of reducers anyway. We have an image reducer, a date reducer, a component reducer, a job reducer. We're going to add a rich text reducer. So let's do that right now. So let's import the document. It's called document HTML string. Very good. That's it. To complete it for us. So let's add another reducer called rich text reducer. Export const rich text reducer, okay, equals raw rich text. All right, very good. Now what we're going to do is basically pass rich text, okay, document HTML string raw rich text. Very good. And then we're going to return this, return passed rich text. Very good. What are the fields? Now we're going to use this function in the job reducer. Okay, what are the fields that need to be passed like this? Well, we have the about you section. Okay, about you equals to rich text reducer, and we get that from raw job. Okay, about you, no, fields, and then about you. Very good. So if we go already on the front end and we look at the about you section, it's going to be a lot different to its friends, right? You see, very different. It really looks very good. So let's do the same for the other three. Okay, so let's do the same for the job description, the responsibilities, and the remuneration. Well, I already have that here. I won't waste your time. Just going to copy it and add it here like this. Okay, very good. Let's refresh and see what happens. Very good. Well, we have it all, but you will notice something. Where are all our ULs? Where are all our list items? Well, for some reason that I don't understand, the rich text from Contentful. So if the guys at Contentful see this, it's not able to parse things successfully. Although it adds, if I inspect this and I look at it, it will have those. Let me go to the mobile desktop version just so I can see it clearly. Okay, so let's for example go to the job description, where we know for sure that we have this, the UL. It's meant to be UL, right? So let's inspect this and see what we're having. Okay, as you can see, job responsibilities. If I look at this, okay, this is a UL, but for some reason the parser that we get from Contentful doesn't it pass everything. As you can see here, we have the bold. This is bold, just like it is here. If I go to the about you, where is it? About you. You see, you love great software, right? That's what we have here, right? If I inspect this section, you love great software. Very good, right? So you see, this is a list. But for some reason, it doesn't add discs, right? I mean, when you're displaying a list, you want to add the discs like this to make to make it clear that this is a list. Well, I think there must be a bug with the document to string function. So the way to solve that is I added a little hack, basically, to add the styling in the rich text reducer, and this is it. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do, okay, if I come back here, you see that the UL doesn't have any styling. So what I'm gonna do in this function, I'm gonna look at the rich text that is being returned, and I'm gonna look at the UL elements. Every UL elements, the opening tag, I'm going to replace it by this. Okay, and here I'm adding an inline style. It's a bit hacky, but yeah, it's the only alternative I found because this doesn't render the URL tags properly. So now I'm going to return this instead. Okay, and if I save this and I refresh, and voila, you see, now we have our tags properly displayed. We can change here, you can add disks, but I prefer cycles. I think it makes the design a bit more subtle. You see, these are the disks, but I tend to like this more. Okay, so I'm gonna get it back to cycles, and you see, and here we have it. Here we have our rich text fields displayed nicely, the bold are there, and the URL elements are there. But yeah, we have to rely on a little hack to do that. And that brings us to the end of the tutorial. In the next one, we're going to see how to parse the tags, because remember, so far we are just displaying dummy tags here, and when we actually do have some real tags. So we're going to do that in the next video. Thank you for watching, and see you next.